Hey everybody, welcome back. This time don't panic. I got 6 or 7 pages here. I've basically written out what I wanted to say because every time I do a video, at the end I keep thinking to myself, oh, I forgot to say this or I forgot to say that, and I'll do it in the next video and it never happens. And anyway, there's a few dates and times that I can't remember, and I want to keep it all in following orders so I don't overlook anything, and also it'll probably go quicker too, so it'll be less painful for you guys. It's like a band-aid. You just rip it off quickly and it's over and done with. So but yeah, it's November, and 2nd of November, and I'm excited that it's November, and I'll get to that in a minute. But first, I'd like to have a bit of a whinge. And I was going to do a separate video solely on this topic, but then I thought, well, who wants to listen to an old, grumpy old man, complaining for 3 or 5 minutes? So I thought I'll do like a prelude to the story. Get over and done with. Yeah, and if you don't want to listen to this rant, I was going to say fast forward, but you don't fast forward videos, do you? You do with the cassette decks and VHS tapes. What do you do with the videos? Just scroll? No. Anyway, just skip the first few minutes if you don't want to listen to this rant. Anyway, yes, so the question is, why are people, and this is just a small group of people, a minority, so eager to comment on social media posts to display their ignorance for the world to see? That's my question. And case in point, the Geelong Revival is on in November. That's why I'm excited, but like I said, I'll get to that later. But the Geelong Revival Motoring Festival, they're promoting the event on the social media accounts, such as Facebook, Instagram, etc. And some of the comments that I see, again, only a small percentage, they're saying things like, why is it called Revival when there are late model cars and even EVs competing? Or that revival is an overused word. As they say, there's no excuse for ignorance. Yeah, especially when if you got a question, the answers are right here. You just ask Professor Google, or if you have a medical question, just ask Dr. Google. It's all here at your fingertips. It's just, I cannot understand why people. Anyway. So yeah, as I said, everything is there that you want to know. Back in my day, and I never thought I'd say that. My old man used to say that, and I thought I'll never say that. But yeah, here I am. But anyway, back in my day, you have to go to a library and go, look up if you want information, look it up on an encyclopedias, or go to a book on a relevant topic that, subject that you're looking into. But now, like I said, everything's available on the phone. And also, if you have a Motorsport Australia, formerly CAMS license, you get the monthly magazine. And if you get that magazine, you remember last December they did a story on the Geelong Revival, held the previous month, and used a photo of my car as the main photo. So actually, hang on, I got that here. Don't know if you'll be able to see that on the camera, but the glare from the light and behind the glass. But yeah, they did a bit of a feature article on the Geelong Revival. I used my car as the photo for the main photo, which I was pretty chuffed about. But people straight away in the comments, they say, and I quote, when you say revival, but the poster boy is a territory, revival's becoming the most used word since bespoke. I don't even know what that last sentence means. I'll have to look that up myself. I'll have to Google it. But, you know, at least I've got some supporters. Someone replied, and I quote, "That territory was the fastest car of the weekend. I think it's earned its spot as the poster boy," unquote. And someone added to that, likewise last year, so the last 2 years was the quickest car there at the Geelong Revival. Another person commented, "Doesn't matter what it's called, it's a good event." So yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, that concludes my bit of a whinge and rant. I just, you know, like I said, people are so quick to comment. But anyway, I actually talked about the Geelong Revival and the word revival. I thought I'd do a quick search on Google on the history of the Geelong Revival. And this is just a condensed version of what I've found out on Google. The Geelong Speed Trials, as it was known back then, started in 1956. Oh shit, it's older than me. Started in 1956 by Mary Rainey, a prominent Geelong identity in the Geelong automotive industry and a member of the Western District Car Club and also former Formula 3 champion. And then it says 1956 to 1958, so I doubt he was a champion 3 years in a row, but I'm assuming it was during that time that he was a champion on stage. He modeled it on the famous Brighton UK Speed Trials. Everybody would have heard of that. For a couple of reasons. The last event was held in 2003. Now, I didn't write those reasons down, but from memory was the Geelong Council was doing a bit of a redevelopment there on the Geelong waterfront, and also the cost blowout. And there were a few other reasons, but yeah, the last event was held in 2003. So then the event, and I emphasize the word event, was revived, operative word, revived in 2012 as the Geelong Revival Morning Festival. This is definitely not some small local event because some big names have competed here. See list. Oh yeah, see list. Sorry. Back again. Yes, so yes, some people that competed at Geelong Revival over the years, Sir Jack Brabham, Sir Sterling Moss, Lex Davison, Tony Gaze, Bob Jane, Bib Stilwell, Norm Beachy, Doug Whitford, Jim McCowan. Now these names I'm more familiar with. John Harvey, Darcy Russell, Dick Johnson, Win Percy, Jim Richards, Glenn Seaton, Greg Lowndes, and there's also been a handful of Formula 1 drivers such as Mika Hakkinen, Johnny Herbert, Pedro Lamy, Alan Jones. So yeah, there you go. It's a pretty popular event. So there you have it. Now on to the current format. Right. I'll go through this quickly. Now, traditionally, since the event was revived in 2012, Saturday was for the later model cars. Post. I should have looked up. It was post 19 something. I can't remember, 86 or 88. I can't remember, but the later / newer vehicles would run on a Saturday, and then Sunday was for vehicles prior to that date, so more like the classic and vintage cars. However, lately they've been trying to get a mixture of both cars on both days. So if somebody wasn't able to make it on a Saturday, and they only can go on a Sunday, but they don't want to see all the old and slower cars. They want to see some fast cars too. That gives an opportunity to see a bit of both. And same thing on Saturday. They're going to have the newer and older cars run on the same day. And that's why I used to only go on a Saturday, compete on a Saturday, because my car is considered a late model car. But now I'm competing on both days, so if you want to see me race, like I can't make it on a Saturday, well, I'll be there on Sunday as well. Which is good for me, more trophies. Now the sprint trials itself, if you haven't been there, I would describe it like a combination of a drag race and a hill climb and a go-to-hoe. Drag race because it's over a quarter mile, but no burnouts or nothing like that, just a standing start to quarter mile sprint. Hill climb because it's not a straight road, it's kind of shaped like a hockey stick. Like at the start line, I always have my car in an angle towards the corner, and once you get around a corner, it's reasonably straight after that. And I say go to hoe because after the finish line, you only got 200 meters to slow your car down enough to make a sharp 90-degree left-hand turn that leads into the holding bay. Yes, so there's no return road, so that's why they send you into a holding bay. There's no return road, so after each class runs, you have to go back to the pit area down the road that you race on. Yes, so I've written down here, so there's no point in turning up in the purpose-built drag car because you'll probably end up in the water barriers, which will cause a delay, and which means probably the top 10 shootout won't be held because they have a curfew. And so yeah, you won't be popular with the other competitors if there's no top 10 shootout. But the spectators have something to talk about. You could do a search, actually you could do it, I've done it myself, you could do a search on YouTube. I think I typed in Geelong Revival crashes or something like that, then yeah, you'll see what I mean. There's a few cars that got pretty messed up. Yeah, talk about after each class you return to the pits down the road that you race on. That's one thing that I like about the Geelong Revival is that there's so many classes that no matter what kind of car you have, whether it be fast or slow or somewhere in between, you'll have a good chance of doing well. This class that your car will fit in, and like I said, the chances of if you're doing well is pretty good. And also the Geelong Revival, they call it the Geelong Revival Motoring Festival because it's not just about the sprints. There's also a car show, both vintage and classics and modern, vintage caravans, retro and vintage fashion. So there's some pretty girls walking around in the old-fashioned clothes. There's a halftime show, lunchtime. There's a halftime show by the Hot Wheels stunt team. And I believe for the first time this year there will be a carnival. There will be carnival rides for the kiddies. So weather permitting, which is always iffy in Geelong and Melbourne, but weather permitting, it should be a good day out or days out for the family. Personally, even though I've heard about the Geelong Speed Trials when I was living in the southeast suburbs of Melbourne, I never went until I moved to Ocean Grove in 2005, I think it was, be at the time the Geelong Revivals went on. But in 2012 when it was revived, I went every year as a spectator, thoroughly enjoyed it. I went both days, because the entry is free. Unless you want to go in the pitch, you got to pay, I think, $20 to $25, but you can spectate for free. Anyway, in 2018, I decided to enter my territory just to experience it, from the other side of the fence. No expectations whatsoever. It was just for fun, tick it off my bucket list. Like I say, been there, done that. But much to my surprise, I came in second place in my class, and with a time of 11.1. I can't remember who beat me and what car it was, but yeah, and even made it in top 10 shootout, which again I was totally surprised. And I can't remember where I finished up in there. But I thought, hey, I could win this. I gave it another go the following year and came in second again. This time behind a all-wheel drive, race prepped Porsche by Peter Fitzgerald. And again, I can't remember where I ended up in the top 10 shootout. You can look these things up online. You go to the Geelong Revival website and you go look up past, what was it? Past winners or something like that, and they'll give you a list of all the competitors and the times and everything. You just type in the year and you'll find it. Let's see, and then in 2020, so that was obviously 2018 and 2019. And then in 2020, well, yeah, we all know what happened then. Thank you, China. When the normality returned in 2022, there were 2 sprint trials held that year to try to catch up from the ones that missed out on. The first one was held in March that year, where I came in second again to that pesky little Porsche, but only by 8/100th of a second with a time of 10.51. Less than a bee stick, as they say. That was so frustrating. And in a top 10 shootout, I wanted to try to beat that time of that Porsche. And I obviously tried too hard and just made a mess of the launch. And that was a bit of a disaster. But again, I can't remember where I finished in that shootout. But it definitely wasn't second because I did a huge balls up with the launch. Like I said, I tried too hard and I probably just had nothing but wheel spin. And then in November, when it's traditionally held in November 2022, I finally did it. First place in class with a time of 10.36. Unfortunately, the top 10 shootout was cancelled due to an accident which caused a delay. I don't understand how these people, they have slower cars and yet they still crash at the end in the water barriers. I think that particular year was actually a Tesla that did that. That's a good combination, electricity and water. But anyway, yeah, bit of a shame because I would have had, I was the quickest car that weekend, and I would have had 2 trophies, one class trophy, one top 10 trophy. But anyway, so the following year, November 2023, first in class again with a time of 9.80. And again, no top 10 shootout because of an accident. And again, missed out on a top 10 trophy. And again, quickest car all weekend. So again, spewing I didn't get the 2 trophies. But anyway, however, that particular time, yeah, the organizers, they asked me and the bloke that came in second place if we would like to do a top 2 shootout because there still was enough time to run 2 cars down the track. But unfortunately, the rain came, which that's always something. So yeah, spewing, but what do you do? That's Mother Nature for you. But that particular win that year came unexpectedly because I had already resigned myself to the fact that I would come in second. I would try my hardest to be a close second, but I didn't expect to win because the car, somebody entered the car that year that was a purpose-built hill climb monster called Viagra. And I did a bit of research on the car and I thought, no way, no, am I going to beat this thing? Because he had previously competed in the Geelong Revival and each time he competed, he won, and he probably expected to win again. He probably underestimated the Mighty Bear. But, yeah, so did I probably, because like I said, I didn't think I'd beat him. And you should see this car. Like I said, look him up on YouTube. His name is Kevin Mackerel, and his car is Viagra. If you look him up on YouTube, you'll find some clips of his car doing a hill climb. But like I said, you should see it because it has more wings and spoilers than a Batmobile. It started life off as a Datsun 260Z, but the only thing that's left is the body of a 260Z. Pretty much everything else is changed. He has a mid-mounted V8 in it. I think it's a 7-liter, I was told. Pretty sure it's a 7-liter V8. 6-speed sequential gearbox and a Nissan GTR all-wheel drive driveline. So like I said, man, it's a purpose-built race car. And I don't think he was very happy coming in second to a road-registered SUV. And I could assure you that, all his hill climb mates and competitors, they would have seen an article in the Motorsport Australia magazine that I just showed you before, because everybody that has their license would get that magazine. And I could assure you that they gave him a hard time and was the butt of all jokes, being beaten by a soccer mom's car. So since then he has rebuilt his engine, I've heard, and he's entered again this year, so I'm assuming for revenge. So my car has a target on the tailgate, but that's all he'll be seeing is the backside of my territory, hopefully. I don't need no Viagra because I'm blown. So yeah, like I said, this is a short video because I've written it all down, so I have a tendency of rambling on otherwise, so this is short and sweet. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. And yeah, until next time, stay safe. Thanks. Bye-bye.